The 2013 vintage in Marin County was another example of just how fantastic this vintage was throughout California. It was the second year of the drought that we're currently hopefully ending right now, but the first year in which we really saw that drought influence start to affect the development out in the vineyard. Now what this meant was that we had a slightly earlier ripening and as well as a more mixture in terms of berry development on the vines. Now that might not necessarily sound positive, but for a winemaker, what we're looking for is as small a berries as possible while still having enough juice to make some wine out of it. And so when we see those small berries develop out there, we know we're going to have very concentrated, very rich, but also very succulent tannins to work with. And 2013 was a fine example of that. This is based off of two vineyards that we've had a lot of experience working with. The Stubbs Vineyard just outside of Petaluma and the Corda Vineyard on the other side of a ridge. These neighboring sites, they're only separated by a couple miles, are actually quite different in terms of how they ripen it. The ridge line that lies between them really protects that Corda site, the Chilena Valley site, from all the wind and fog coming off of Tamales Bay, while the Stubbs Vineyard is exposed to it directly. This means that there's often a month and a half in difference between the ripening of these two sites, even though they're very close together. Because of that, we see a big difference between the flavor development in most years. 2013 is an anomaly there, though. What we saw in 2013, because of the beneficial climate effects that we had, the warmer weather, the beautiful weather during harvest, was both of them got quite ripe and quite rich. And this 2013 Marin Pinot, in a lot of ways, to me, drinks much more like a wine from warmer areas, such as the middle of the Russian River Valley or Carneros, because of that ripeness and that succulence that you see. So if you're looking for a little bit more open example in Marin, the 2013 would be a great example to be able to introduce to someone just how wonderful this vintage can perform in a vintage like 2013. Cheers.